Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demon, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight, the fun we are celebrating is a pain we've all had to go through growing up in the 70s, maybe even the 80s. The bad and the good of being a kid in 1979. And the bad would be, as kids, we all had to take music lessons. Piano, flute, trombone. Pee-wee, you strike me as a xylophone pet. Whatever it was, we had to take music lessons, and those sucked. It was usually in the summer. What's the old saying? Practice makes perfect. Well, practice is no fun when you'd rather be on your bike with your friends in the woods building a fort, but yet you're at home practicing Swanee River on the piano. Played that at Copeland Baptist Church in the 3rd grade. But in 1978 and 1979, there was a good side to practicing the piano, and it was the Kiss Songbooks. And that, Pee-wee, is what we're going to talk about tonight. And before we get into the bad of growing up in the 70s and having to learn a musical instrument and practice your summer days away, let's celebrate the dogs of It's All For You Demon. And tonight we celebrate Michael Wayne's dog, Christy, who is a Rottweiler Lab mix, cute as a button, and Rottweilers always make me want to watch The Omen.
Quiet now. This is the master of the house.
Well, you see how good he is. As a watchdog, I mean. I think you'll be grateful on your long trips away.
So here's Michael Wayne's dog, Christy, in the Dogs of It's All For You Demon. So first up tonight in the celebration is the Ace Frehley Songbook from 1978. And this, of course, is the music tablature to his solo album. Love that solo album cover on the book. It just feels different than the solo album. And judging side by side, the songbook is a little smaller than the album artwork. So I don't really know why it kind of draws my fancy so much. I think it's just the artwork itself, compared to the other songbooks when they're all put together, just kind of stand out more. And there you have the Ace Frehley Songbook, Alamo Publications, 78. And then this cool write-up by Peggy Tamarkin, the band's publicist at the time. And anytime Peggy Tamarkin is involved, it just has that elementary school, childhood, scholastic book fair thing that really make these fun. And that is why I love these songbooks, because these are things a kid would use to get out of the bore of having to take piano lessons and trick their parents into buying Kiss collectibles. Because look at these pictures. These pictures are amazing, and it is very understandable why a lot of these songbooks do not contain the pictures, because kids would certainly rip these out of the book and tack them to their wall. I love this chair photo that's in the Army kit for the solo albums. Wouldn't you love to know where these two pieces are today? Space station set and that clear chair. They've got to be out there somewhere. Much like those clear cubes from the 77 photo shoot. Like, all of this stuff has to be out there somewhere, and it would be so cool to see, let alone own. And then the last picture, Ace with his Gibson. Love those pants. Those pants are the reason Ace is my favorite Mego doll. Of course, the songs for this songbook: Fractured Mirror, I'm in Need of Love, New York Groove, all the way down to Wiped Out. New York Groove had to be the song every kid wanted to learn on piano, I imagine. But again, I really think these songbooks back then were probably a little sneaky for kids. Like, yeah, sure, I'll practice piano. Can we go check out the new sheet music? Oh wow, look at this. Only $7. I'll practice real hard. And then you don't practice hard. Or maybe you do. But you have a very cool extra piece of Kiss fun in your 1978 collection. And the fun continues to 1979 with the Dynasty Songbook. And I was thrilled beyond belief to find the Dynasty Songbook. It's 2023, the year of Dynasty here in the Wax Night Basement, and B, this is a songbook you do not see pop up a lot. Same back as the album. Songs are out of order, of course. And then Almo Publications again. Inflation, a little Jimmy Carter inflation. It's gone up to $7.95. But the pictures in this book are beautiful. Cover shot of the album cover. And these wonderful, wonderful pictures from the tour book. Paul in that bedroom scene, all purple with the wine. Or is that Star Child grape Kool-Aid? Super cool ass centerfold of the new outfits, of course. And again, cool ass pictures of Peter and Ace, of course, from the Dynasty tour book. But what I love about Peter's is this is the photo session in the tour book where the naked lady was at the bottom with blood on her. Lady, of course, is not there in the songbook, but if I can avoid this glare, you can see the skull at the bottom of the page is still there, and that is present in the tour book. There is the skull from the songbook, and here is the skull with the girl's hand on it. I always dig seeing little nuances like that and just imagining like the day and the change of sets and the change of costumes and just how long the day took. And I'm sure Peter, not really, it was kind of a pain in the ass to put on that gigantic costume and pretend you still enjoy being in this band. Then the last little sort of picture here is the contents, which I do love. The dripping blood C in the contents, which is kind of weird if you think about it. Dripping blood and the childlike Dynasty fun. But I guess that was probably the most bloody picture ever of Gene in the Dynasty tour book. So, I mean, good God. That's probably the most horrific, bloody picture of Gene to exist. I'm going to go down on record and say that is the most beautifully bloody, horrific Gene photo ever. And then again, table of contents, songs out of order, of course, and down here, the little center ring of the Dynasty album. And then we have I Was Made for Loving You, plotted out in sheet music. You want to drive your parents crazy during the summer of 1979, pound out I Was Made for Loving You. Sing those opening doo-doos all day long. And that will for sure get you out of your piano lessons. They will kick your ass out, and you will be riding your bike in no time. So to me, that's kind of the fun of collecting the songbooks, is placing yourself back in a child's mind in the 70s. You don't want to learn piano. You don't want to spend your summer days taking piano lessons and practicing an hour each day. You want to buy Kiss stuff and put Kiss pictures on your wall. And these songbooks were the best way to appease your parents and appease your wall. I don't have too many songbooks. Rock and Roll Over was the first one I ever owned. I did own this when I was like 19 years old. To me, Rock and Roll Over is probably the most boring cover because I don't like those song titles at the bottom. But I guess it's probably an aesthetic thing because if you drug that album artwork down, it would just be all out of proportion. The next one I added to the collection was Destroyer. This is kind of when I jumped back on the songbook bandwagon. Then Love Gun, which it is kind of nice to have the big three there, the second big three. Alive 2, which is a lot of fun because it's such a thick book. Some cool pictures in Alive 2 as well. Love that picture of Gene. Some more cool pictures of Paul and Gene. And a very cool little write-up on each song and why they were written, what they are about. Way more fun than practicing the piano. Double Platinum, which is by far my favorite cover of the songbooks. That is so cool. They did it in that Mylar. Would have been even more cool if they would have had the back with the faces on there, but they didn't. Logos are in there, embossed. This one is a lot of fun. And then Peter and Ace are my only solo album songbooks. It's kind of weird. I feel like after Love Gun, songbooks kind of become hard to find. And then my most favorite of the bunch, of course, Dynasty. So there you go, the songbook fun of the 1970s. Collecting them today is fun, but back in the 70s, they served an even greater purpose. Get you out of boring chores and get you in to putting cool Kiss stuff up on your wall. Thank you for hanging with us tonight and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia with us here in the Waxland basement. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care, be safe. We will talk to you soon. These little girlies just had a 9th birthday last week. 9 years old. 9 years old and still kicking strong. I love you, girly. And you, too. You just had a 9th birthday as well. Which one came out first? You or Pee-wee? I'm thinking you. I'm thinking Pee-wee was stuck in the back. That's why she's so demented and small. You both are the best. The best little girlies a man could ever ask for. Love you to the moon and back.